Oh, it's such a gorgeous day out here. Spring is finally around the corner, and today we're going to celebrate the third year anniversary of the 2017 Honda Civic LX. Let's get started. Welcome to this installment of Mike's Vehicle Vlogs. Thank you for joining me today. Like I've said a moment ago, it's a beautiful day out here. Today is March 4th, 2025. We are over 60 degrees today, and it's just gorgeous. It's very breezy, but the sun's been out for most of the day. A little bit of clouds here and there. It's just been nice. It's so uplifting to know that the better weather is on the way. Tomorrow is also looking to be around 60-70 degrees, but we have a severe weather threat tomorrow, and then it's all going to go downhill from there again. So we'll probably have some more snow chances, and we'll be in the 30s and 40s all over again. So gotta live it up now. But today is the official anniversary of the 2017 Honda Civic LX. I did indeed purchase this vehicle on March 4th of 2022, shortly after I joined the Honda dealership team as a technician. And yeah, I mean, I honestly don't really know what to say, as far as anything that's not really good about this car. This car has so far been my favorite out of all of the cars that I had, and it's tough to say because I feel like I've had a lot of really good cars, but this one, I don't know, this one here is just, it's my favorite. I love everything about this car. So yeah, I don't know how long this video is going to be, probably not that long, but let's go ahead and dive into 3 years of ownership with this 2017 Civic. Again, I apologize for any wind interference, but I can't help that. So yeah, today is so nice. I gave this car its first actual hand washing of the year, and as you can see, one of the downsides to the car, from time to time, is the fact that it is the black exterior color. However, when it's freshly cleaned like it is now, it actually looks really, really gorgeous. So yeah, this is a 17 Honda Civic LX, and I never pictured myself being a Civic owner, but I'll tell you what, I am really, really glad that I, kind of got into this car. Before this, I had a 2015 Ford Fusion S, and the Fusion was kind of the king car, I would say. It was my favorite for a while. I really didn't have any issues with the Fusion, nothing major anyway, barely anything at all, but I ended up trading that in on this because when I started working for Honda, I, started to, drive these, and I obviously was in a lot more of these cars as I was, working and servicing them, and all of a sudden I really grew attached to the idea of wanting one of these. So this particular Civic here is one that was traded in right around the time that I started at that particular dealership, and I actually got to service this thing when it went through the shop for its safety inspection and various services. So I got to do firsthand all of the service work that this car needed before it actually hit the lot. That included an oil change, that included the tire rotation, transmission fluid change, brake fluid change, and there really wasn't a whole lot else that needed to be done. It needed an air conditioner condenser, so it did have a condenser put in it before I bought it. These Civics are known for AC condenser leaks. Not really sure why. They just end up corroding and leaking. So, dogs. So I really, you know, just got to see firsthand, you know, what was done to this particular car. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there was another Civic that I looked at before this one. It was actually a sport model, and I think it was a year or two newer than this one, but it was the same body style. Problem with that one was it was a little too pricey for the time. So I decided to, you know, kind of go for this one. I really took this one out on a nice drive, and you know, I honestly, I really did fall in love with it, and decided I had to have this car. And here we are 3 years later, and my opinion of this particular vehicle has not changed. This car has by far been really, really awesome. Now, it was in pretty rough shape when it was traded in. In fact, it was all scratched up. The front bumper, part of the front bumper, and the rear bumper had to be repainted because of all the scratches and such. In fact, you know, over time, this part of the bumper here has been peeling away. Honestly, I don't know if it's really gotten a whole lot worse or not, but this spot here is where the guy at the dealership, you know, kind of like airbrushed it or something. And there's always been this weird, you know, thing here, but it never really bothered me. And you know, this, it is what it is for now. But you know, I'm sure the longer I have the car, you know, it eventually, when I can, I would like to have it taken care of properly. But I mean, it's not doing anything to the car. It's perfectly, it is what it is. And you know, honestly, the car is black, so if it was like another color, that would show up more, and it would be, you know, what it is. This plate here, this is just my spray paint thing, because I just wanted a plain black license plate. If I take the frame off, which I thought about doing, there's going to be holes in the bumper, and they're not perfectly even if that makes any sense. So I figure, you know, I just want a plain black plate there. But I gotta respray paint that, or I need to actually find just a plain black license plate to put there. So that is what it is. That's nothing that actually has to do with the car. The headlights, the only thing that I did to the headlights was I put LED bulbs in them. And not only does it make it look really awesome at night, it actually does help to see a lot better too. It also matches, excuse me, can't talk. It also matches the LED strips that came from the factory here in the headlights as well. So there's that. We got the wheel covers. I've said it time and time again, I hate the wheel covers, the idea of the wheel covers, but I like this design. It would be really cool if those were the actual wheel designs, you know. But we have the steel wheels still, and you know, I've just kind of grown to accept it. One of them is slightly bent at this point in time, and that happened, when was that? Sometime last year, I think around this time. But tire was unhurt, just kind of bent the wheel a little bit. And for the most part, the wheel covers are still in pretty decent shape, really. Not a whole lot of, not too much damage. Trying to keep all the brake dust off of them. So there's that. The corner of the bumper here, I don't know if I've ever pointed it out, it keeps popping out, that clip there. Other than that, cosmetically, there's really not a whole lot wrong with the car. I mean, like I said, it was pretty banged up. I think over the course of this past year, somebody, you can't really see it, but I think somebody ended up maybe shopping carting the side over here somewhere. Where was that? Because there was a mark on the light. Yeah, right here. something hit this light also. Maybe the first wax of the year actually got rid of it. I don't know. But yeah, so I think this side is this is probably the most banged up side. There's some spots where there's touch-up paint. There was a huge scratch on the hood. You can kind of see it in the sun. It goes across here, but that was touched up. You just can kind of see, you know, where it was. And then, of course, you guys can tell we don't have the original taillights on here anymore. We put on some aftermarket LED lights, and I'm not a fan of aftermarket stuff. A lot of you guys know this, but these were going to be thrown out. They came off of a used Civic at work, and for Honda to actually certify a car, you know, through Honda, you're not allowed to have any aftermarket accessories. So that particular car still had the original taillights. They were going to throw these out, so you know, I went ahead and took them, and just to see what they look like. And I really do like the way that these lights look on this car with it being black, like the blacked out look. And honestly, they're not too crazy. They still kind of like resemble a lot of the you know, the original shape and design of the original taillights that were on there. So nothing too crazy. Other than that, I don't really think there was anything else to speak of cosmetically on this vehicle. Kind of went through all that stuff. Yeah, I think we're done with the outside. Now, we are still technically in winter, so I haven't done anything with the mats or any vacuuming or anything as such. But, you know, the inside is still in really good shape for the most part. The last good cleaning happened, I think, right before Myrtle Beach last year. So it was like last, almost fall. Tried to dust everything off and vacuum it. Seats are still in good shape. No tears. Still really comfortable. I absolutely love these seats. I love the thick side bolstering. And yeah, I love the high center console there. But yeah, I mean, I just really love the interior of this car, and it's set up really nice. Nothing really back here. A couple of music video props from the last music video that we filmed a few months ago. And let's see. I'll go ahead and just start this up. I am losing track of the mileage because of the rollover on the odometer. So right now the car is at 85,959, and I bought the car around 51,000. So if it's at 89, trip B has gone over like 3 times. So 34,661.3. I put 34,000 miles on the vehicle, and yeah, 36.1 miles per gallon is what that is averaging, trip B, since we restarted at 3 years ago today. So definitely the most fuel efficient car that I have had, and that's one of the big perks about this particular car, is just the fuel economy is amazing. But everything in the vehicle still works. This being an LX, I feel like it still has a lot of features that, you know, aren't necessarily over the top. It's perfect for me. You know, I don't need a touchscreen or lane keeping assist or none of that stuff. This is actually the last year that these Civics came without anything lane keeping. As of 2018, pretty sure they became standard features on all Civics after that. So I'm really glad that I got a 17 and don't have to worry about, you know, the radar sensors and stuff out front getting messed up, because that does seem to be a pretty common thing, unfortunately. So yeah, this thing here, we do have a nice, you know, center display, AM, FM, MP3 player. I do have the iPod hooked up. It's, sorry, a little dustier than I thought because the sun's coming through this way. So there's that. This system is perfect. I think it sounds pretty good. We do have a nice, generous backup camera. So yeah, the AC still works, obviously. The heat in this car is amazing in the winter time. We love, you know, the heat. The brake hold function is really cool for like when you're in a drive-through line or if you're just in stop and go traffic. I don't use it other than, you know, really slow times, but it's nice to have when, you know, it's needed. Electric parking brake, I still use that periodically. I don't use econ mode. When it's in econ mode, it gets rid of the throttle response, you know, so it kind of makes the car feel sluggish, which is typical because you're trying to save, you know, fuel economy in econ mode. And it does other things too, like it kind of reduces AC performance, you know, stuff like that. So the car being in, you know, regular drive mode, it has plenty of pep. When it's in sport mode, it has even more pep. So it's just a really fun car to drive. And I love the steering wheel. I love the little you know, holes in the wheel. So there's that. Still has all of your audio controls here. It has voice command, but the voice command is nothing like the sync system that I had back in the Ford. And honestly, I don't ever use this. The only way it would work is if you trained the car to recognize your voice or the contact, whereas sync automatically used to just pick up on what you were trying to, you know, say, you know, for the function. So I don't use that, but that is like the one downfall that I don't care for as much is the lack of really good usable voice command. Doggies. So sorry for all the barking. It's a nice day out here. Everybody's coming out here to the park and such. So there's that. The only other thing that I miss is an actual wiper delay. This is just a 2-speed wiper with one intermittent setting, and it's probably like, you know, if you had like an intermittent wiper of like 1 to 5, it's probably like a 3, I would say. But I do miss being able to adjust the timer on the intermittent wipers. It's really not too big a deal, just, you know, one of those little things to give up on. But yeah, and up here we have mirrors, no lights, but yeah, these work. They just don't light up when you open the door. So yeah, everything in the car is still nice, fully functional, and you know, still it's just a very, very fun car to drive. Overall just love the cockpit of this car and being behind the wheel. So this particular LX is powered by the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, the Earth Dreams engine, non-turbo. This engine is definitely, in my opinion, better than the 1.5s, the turbocharged versions that were also in this LX Civic that you can get. And they're actually still making those engines today, the 1.5s. This engine is no longer available in the Civic. However, this engine is in the new HRVs now, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, so not a whole lot has been needed to be done here under the hood of this particular vehicle, not yet. Obviously, oil changes every 5,000 miles. I did replace the engine air filter not last year, but in 2023, I'm pretty sure is when I did the air filter. I also did the cabin filter at that time. Let me think. The battery, that is the battery. It's been in there for almost 3 years. I had to replace that just a few months into ownership of the car. It was still the original battery when I bought the car, and it crapped out all of a sudden. So that battery's been in there for almost 3 years and still going strong. What else? We did do the CVT transmission fluid change. It was... I did a video on it. Let me think. I don't think it was... It might have been around about a year ago. The CVT fluid's supposed to be done around, every 30,000 miles. So I remember it was about 30 when I changed it. I don't remember when. Either way, we did do the CVT fluid once on this car since I've had it. And I just recently did a new brake fluid change. So Honda recommends brake fluid every 3 years. And I did a brake fluid flush not long ago at work in my downtime. It was within the last month. So that fluid got pretty nasty. Got some nice clean stuff in there now. And it really does make a world of difference with how the brake pedal feels. It's actually pretty amazing at what brake fluid can do when it's, deteriorating. So, but yeah, I haven't had to do anything else under the hood of the vehicle. I didn't wipe it down today. I usually try to wipe all this stuff down, after the wash, but I didn't feel like doing it today. I just dried it and ate my lunch. So that was it. So other maintenance things, the tires are still in pretty good shape. I don't think these are the original tires. From what I can remember, Carfax did say that these were replaced at one point. But we are down to like 5s and 4s, so the fronts are a little bit better than the backs. I keep saying, I'm going to need tires. I do. I'm going to need them eventually. I keep thinking they're wearing down worse than they are, but there's still some life left. Same thing with the brakes. I'm probably going to have to do the brakes within this coming year. The rear brakes, Civics have a really bad wear pattern when it comes to their rotors. I think it's how the calipers are designed behind those wheels you can't see. But these body style Civics have a good history of chewing up the rotors. Because the pads will seize, and I think it's such an open design back there. I think, where we live, the salt and everything kind of rusts, and I think it's, it kind of jams the pads, and they all wear weird. But I want to do all 4, so I'm hoping we'll be able to do that this year. As far as repairs go, there is one thing that I did have to replace this year. I didn't do it on camera. I did it at work because it was easier that way. But back in August, this outer tie rod started coming loose. Started having some play and some knocking in the wheel. And this tie rod here needed to be replaced. It started doing some jiggling. And it was right before we were going to go to Myrtle Beach last year, so I did replace that tie rod. I did it at work too, because I obviously had to do an alignment afterwards. So this car, other than that, I don't think there's anything else that I've really had to do. Without, of course, regular maintenance of some of those fluids and stuff. But yeah, the tie rod is really the only thing that started to, fail, and we did that, and it's been properly aligned and good ever since. So that is pretty much all that I could think of at this time. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything else, anything else with this car that I don't like about it or anything. I'm still really glad that, I went ahead and ended up getting this one overall. It's just been, I can't really explain it. I've never driven a car that feels as fun as this. And, this is just a base LX model. There's, it's not a performance model, but I think the thing that I like most about this particular generation Civic is the way that it looks. you know, and the way that it's designed to drive and stuff. I mean, it really is like night and day compared to the earlier Civics and even the new Civics. You know, driving just a few of the new body styled Civics, it just doesn't feel the same to me. And I'm not saying I don't like the new Civics. I really do like them. I think they are pretty sharp. But this generation Civic here feels like it is definitely, you know, the peak, the top, in my opinion. I think they nailed it with the overall styling, inside and out, and the way that the car responds when you're driving it, the handling. If you have the sport model, the steering ratio is definitely, you know, a lot tighter. So, I mean, it responds even quicker than what this car, the way that this car responds. And I feel like this car is really, really responsive. The CVT transmission, I was really concerned about in the beginning. You know, still kind of concerns me. But as long as the fluid in these things are changed, like I said, around every 30,000 miles, you keep the fluid fresh in there, and you probably will not experience any problems. This little pillar here, every once in a while, if I have the music turned down, you can kind of hear it vibrating. If I kind of do this, it stops for a moment, but then it starts to rattle again. And the back, something back there, I think it's that panel there, that pillar back there, it too has a slight rattle. But, you know, it is what it is. It's really not that big a deal. Alright, so there you have it. Like I said, I don't really have anything else to say about this car. I drive it a lot. It's been to Myrtle Beach 3 times. And I love everything about this car. And, you know, I can't say it enough. It is my favorite car that, you know, I've had as an everyday daily driver. You know, obviously not counting a project, just an actual, you know, everyday car. This has been my favorite so far, and I really hope I don't decide to get rid of it. That seems to be a problem with me. I didn't plan on getting rid of the Fusion when I did, because I really liked the Fusion, but I don't know, things come up, and then I just kind of sporadically, or what's the word I'm looking? Oh, impulsive. It's an impulsive buy. That's the problem. So hopefully, you know, we don't end up doing that. That's it. That's really all that I've got for today. 3 years of ownership, 100% satisfied with this thing. I absolutely love it, and yeah, I am looking forward to many more years with this car. If you did enjoy this, thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. I want to thank you all for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. So thanks again for watching, and take care.